my kiddos, it's Christmas again. Time for new Legos and visiting with friends. We'll go visit siblings and cousins, you know. But clean up this damn house or we just won't go. We've got 1,000 Xbox games and a smartphone for a boy, a trampoline and bicycles and 500,000 toys. All the food in the world and parents to adore. All I ask is you clear a path so we can get to the door. It's Christmas time and I'm at my wit's end. I'll give you the world and all I could lend. If Santa could see you, he'd take back our wreath. So make your damn bed and brush your damn teeth. Presents are all wrapped and the stockings are hung, and come Christmas morning we'll have so much fun. But this house is a mess and I'm starting to think there's a much bigger reason this house has a stink. It's Christmas Day and I don't know what's what. The living room smelling like our little dog's butts. This house is a disaster, is famous in town. I almost think we should just burn it down. Now asleep in your beds, you each look so sweet. Never mind that the whole room smells like feed. Now I'd never speak ill of you when you're around, but when I record this song it's a whole different sound. It's Christmas Day, we gotta go, we're out of time. My patience won't thinner than your mother and I'm fresh out of ideas and it's gone to my head. Fuck it, good enough, just push all under your beds. Just push all under your beds. Just push all under your beds.
Howdy, gang. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, a joyous Festivus to one and all. That was weird, huh? Ah, good stuff, good stuff. Let's kill some time, babies. Let's see what we got here. How is everybody? What's going on? What's exciting? Did you already get your feasts in? Did you have some fun? We're going to be eating at about, in about an hour and a half. Just got the prime rib going a little bit ago. So that's fun. Okay, Festivus, of course. That is what is good. Who is this is here so the party can indeed begin. Probably aren't going to go in too heavy for another 8 minutes because you know what? We're hanging out. Kyle appreciates the lyrics. Yeah, it's nice having the lyrics so you can understand. What do I plan on using my Cybertruck for? I would say non-truck things almost exclusively. You know, driving around and looking so good while doing it. Hello, Steve Wendelin. So good to see you guys. What the heck are we doing? Why am I here? Well, the short answer is, normally we go to visit cousins on Christmas, but my cousin Deb is taking care of her mother, and her mother is not doing well, so out of an abundance of caution, we are avoiding groups. Merry Christmas, Conrad. Ah, you are welcome for the logical and clear thinking insight. Hopefully that's not an overstatement. I don't think it is. I think it's fair. Got my mega cup here. A little bit of what is now cold coffee, but I'll still enjoy it. Yeah. Steve is going to use his Cybertruck to show off his obscene wealth. Question for you guys. How many shares you got? And what'd you buy in at? What's your average share price? I tell you, man, when the price went down in 2019, I simply could not help but buy in. And I told everyone how proud I was, how excited I was to have gotten in when I did. And yeah, I did have a friend who said I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. And I was like, well, I follow it more closely, so I guess I am more comfortable. 19 concurrent, 21 concurrent, not bad. 21 viewers. Hello, everybody. If you've just joined us, you have missed kinda nothing here on the Christmas special edition. Do I see a stock split in 2022? Absolutely yes. There are a lot of traditional brokerages that do not do fractional shares. And if the share price was, under 100 or 2, and I'd like to see a 10-for-1 split, at least. I don't know if we'll get that, but I really would like a 10-for-1 split. So I absolutely see a stock split. It'll make for a lot easier entry point for most investors. Is there any significance to which side the ball is on? No. Let me see if it looks better over here. It's all about the lighting and the shadows, so if I put it there, I get a little less color correction on my face from the automatic thing. Is there significance, by the way? Does anyone know? Is there significance to which side it goes on? And of course, you have to keep it somewhat visible. Otherwise, what are you doing? 924 shares of your own, $11.99. About 50 up to 950. That's fantastic. 924 shares. Wow. That's breathtaking. Especially since you were dollar cost averaging from very low. Oh. If your friends and family knew the price that you got in at and the extent to which you in, they might be bitter. Grab 4 more this week for the price of 3. Thanks, Elon. Yeah, I hope the selling is over or just about over. Tesla Daily does have a pretty good tracker on how many shares have been exercised and sold. And it looks like it is done-ish, or very close to it. Like one more little batch to buy and or sell, which would not be bad. Timothy West thanks me for what I do. You're welcome. No idea what I'm going to do with it, as I don't spend money. Yeah, it would be a perfectly ridiculous vehicle that I have no use for, apart from the fact that it seats 6, and I need 6 seats. 2 weeks, LOL. 2 weeks? Well, I would say 2 weeks maybe, 2 years definitely. But I don't know what that's in reference to. But in Elon world, 2 weeks is great. It's also the amount of time it takes to get your ass to Mars. It's great. Probably going to consolidate other companies I own in the new year and go further into Tesla. I don't have much to consolidate. I've got 2 stocks I'm very interested in selling. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Any other questions? Or I really feel like we should wait another 3 minutes to let everyone get a chance to get in. Because, what a Christmas gift it is to not cut out people who are showing up on time. Oh, wow. Thank you, Rob. To all a good night. See you guys next week. Rob, thanks for popping by. There will be, of course, a consolidated version of this posted tomorrow morning. But probably. It's, I don't know how much sense this one's going to make. So it's probably going to be This one's probably going to be ridiculously long, with the follow-up being quite short. What else do I own? Arkimoto. They make the little 3-wheel fun utility vehicle. I am waiting to see if their factory comes online as expected, and then I will make a decision on whether or not to sell that. I own Palantir, which I am not pleased with myself on. It's the one stock I bought without knowing enough about the company. I don't know if that would have changed my decision. It's kind of a meme stock, and I've taken a bit of a bath on it. I own Triple Q, the Invesco S&P 500 index fund, which I'm only in because it's safe and easy. I own ARK-K, which is kind of like a Tesla tracking stock. Yeah, so I own Tesla, the index fund, which includes Tesla, and the mutual fund, which also includes Tesla. Is there anything else? I feel like there is. I feel like there's one more. Triple Q, ARK, FUV. Maybe that's all. Maybe that's all. I think we're real close to time. We'll get back to the chitty chat soon-ish. But for now, let's talk. Let's talk turkey about turkeys. Oh, you know what? Let's look at the poll. Best Christmas movie. Best Christmas Carol. Wow, a tie between the Muppet Christmas Carol and the one with Jim Carrey. I thought the one with Jim Carrey was good, but a bit uninspired. Muppet Christmas Carol, I absolutely love it, but Scrooged is my winner. It is my winner. Okay. Oh, you have 6,000 shares. We can do this real quick. Who is this? Has 6,000 shares of FUV. Sold covered calls for all the shares, which will probably get called really disappointed in their progress. Yeah. 5 for 1 or 10 for 1 split would be great. What price would trigger a split? No price. There's no rhyme or reason to it anymore. So I would say it's just something that people have been asking for. And I think it would improve the odds of people being able to buy into the stock. 222 shares, around $56 a share. Very good, Angus. See, you had the vision. You had the vision. 5,000 shares between 350 and 1,200. Good job, Robert. Sorry if you covered this, but you have Q4 sales predictions. They are coming up. They are coming up. And yes, I do. They're mostly done. They're mostly done. I already do a bit of towing. I would do more towing with the Cybertruck because it would be cheaper. More RVing maybe, and possibly do a couple more side jobs with the trailer. Die Hard is the best Christmas movie. I considered putting it on, but you only get so many options, and I was afraid it would... I just wanted to go with Christmas Carol-themed movies. I would agree that Die Hard is the best movie for adults. You know, the best action movie for sure for Christmas. So let's get into it. Holiday update. Good stuff. The light show. Bit silly, bit pointless, but, it's not like that part of the software team was necessarily doing something else. I would put on the music, but I've been warned by others that that will incur a copyright strike, which I would prefer to avoid. There's an interesting Reddit thread where someone claimed to work for another car company, and they saw this and they said, we need to know, give us a feasibility, can we do this with our cars? And it was nothing but obstacles. Legal would have to have a say in it. The parts manufacturers for things like the LED bulbs and the light bulbs and everything would need to revalidate this particular use case. They're just not nimble. They're not agile. And this, to me, is a good example of what Tesla can do that other companies struggle to, which is little things on the fly. You remember there was a tweet asking for dog mode, and it rolled out very quickly, like in a week or two. That's something that the legacy guys would really struggle with. Yeah. Let's take a look at these questions again real quick, because we got a couple. Do I see the stock price going below 1,000 again, or is that long gone? So I don't like to do stock predictions because that's not in my wheelhouse. That's not my area of expertise. So I don't think we'll see 1,000 again, but I've been wrong in the past. I didn't think we'd see below 900 again after we hit 1,200, and boy, did we. The market can be irrational, and I think a lot of Tesla's growth is priced in. I think if there was a massive recall, like a massive one, like a real recall, that would absolutely hurt. If some serious objections and delays came up in Berlin, that might bring the price down. There are a lot of factors that can have that effect. Who is this said? I should probably become a patron at this point. Hey, awesome. If you would like to do that, that would be very much appreciated. Which, by the way, I am rolling out my 11-year production estimate tracker in the coming days for those of you at the $10 level and above who sign up this month, and it'll be $25 a month for those who sign up or upgrade next month. So pretty cool. Diehard gets my vote. How many Walmarts in phase 2 or square feet? I will come back to that. And what is the function of phase 2? Mark, Mark, would you believe that's the next topic? What will phase 2 house at Austin Gigafactory? When will Model 3 have structural battery pack and cast front and rear ends? And you'll try to be here. Mark, you are here. You have made it. So, the phase 2 that we're aware of is the cathode building. The battery, the cathode building, not the battery building. All the steel is there. They graded it months ago, like 6 months ago. The steel has to be ordered so far in advance, so it's just kind of sitting there waiting for it to go. So not production of vehicles, production of components. A theory I heard that I think is plausible is that the delay is because there was supposed to be the Piedmont deal from the East Coast where they were going to be getting lithium from there. And due to, I believe, environmental objections, that deal may have died. It's definitely on hold. So you can get lithium from many different sources, but depending what you get it from, you need to process it in a different way. Are you getting it from water? Are you getting it from carbonate? What are you getting it from? That determines what kind of building to build. So if the source of lithium has changed, the entire plan for the building may have changed as well. I think that might be the delay. There's also the building to the west of the highway. And Joe and Brad, and maybe Brian Rashetsky, at least two of them, I believe Brad Sloan and Joe Tatmeyer, have both heard from construction workers and from homeowners who were given notifications that that was going to be an office building. But with Tesla, everything is up in the air. When will Model 3 have structural battery pack? I believe from the get-go. Oh, Model 3. Oh, I'm sorry. When will Model 3 have structural battery pack? Later. Later, because they've got so many orders for the long range, which they can handle with LFP batteries, that I don't think structural is in the cards for it at this time. And once everything starts switching over to 4680s, there's going to be an abundance of 2170s coming out of Giga Nevada. Might as well keep using them. And they do a great job. And when will the Model 3 have a structural, have a cast front and rear end? I have a theory on that too. Part of my 11-year tracker assumes that once Giga Texas comes online, they will begin renovating Fremont, which will result in a production dip for a bit, and then higher production thereafter. And I believe it is at that time that the single casting front and rear would be put in, and that would be that. That would be that. Can you tell how cold it is? It's chilly. You know what? It's Christmas. If you guys don't mind, I'm turning the heater on. It's Christmas. It's Christmas-ish. It's Christmas in many, many time zones right now. Okay. How many Walmarts in Phase 2? I did the math at one point. I'm not sure. It depends on what we're counting as Phase 2. But we also don't know how many floors it's going to be. So that's tough. I do not know the answer. What is the function of Phase 2? Yes. Can you help me understand how big a risk the Austin ramp will be? I watched a video about the Gigapress with a materials science PhD, and he said it will be incredibly hard to ramp. I think that's a fascinating video, and I will look that up later because that sounds like something I would absolutely watch. I don't think it'll be difficult. They're already using a single rear casting, I think front and rear casting, in Shanghai. So we know it works. They just got to get it configured. I did see some concerning pieces of scrap in a recent video, I think by Joe, where it looked like they just kind of bubbled out into the mold. So I don't know. But they have stockpiled so many front and rear assemblies in the building. We've seen pictures of them. Just thousands of them. Good evening, Jeff Krupke. But to finish that up, Matt, well, I don't think there's a big risk of the Austin ramp. It may not ramp quite as quickly as Giga Shanghai, but it may ramp quicker because it is a version 2 or 3.0 factory. It is a new iteration. And the ramp for Model Y in Shanghai was very fluid, was very efficient. I believe it will mirror that. So I am not worried about that at all. When will Cybertruck assembly line start being built? I don't know. I know there's a lot of people who are saying that they're very frustrated. They were just sure that the Cybertruck was going to come in 2022. I made a prediction video for all things Tesla for this year. Last New Year's Eve, I think. And one of my predictions was that there would be 0 Cybertruck deliveries in 2022. So we'll see. But I did also predict the Model Q would be unveiled, and that definitely hasn't happened. So it's a good question. Trading Places. Oh, that is a Christmas movie, isn't it, Kyle? I forgot about that one. Over 1 million Cybertruck orders. I think some will move on to other EV trucks. No one wants to wait for years. I can agree with the frustration. I know there are a lot of people who put in orders for several different trucks and will literally take the first one that they can get, but not 2, not 3. So, but I don't think Tesla's super worried about that. I think the demand will be ample to satisfy as much production as they can possibly make in the first 2 years, even if it's not great. I thought Phase 2 was extension to the south. Anything after the initial footprint is Phase 2. So really, there's definitely plans for that, but there's also plans for the other 2 buildings as well. The extension to the south is 500 feet in length and the full width of the building. So substantial. But it looks like that's on hold because they've graded the area. It looks like that is going to be the loading and logistics lot. And they're finishing the walls on the southern end. So I think that's on hold, but it is permitted. Merry Christmas to you, Ray Johnson. They've been using gigapresses in Fremont and Shanghai for a year or so already. I think they've already ran the major bugs out of the process. It does seem so. If you look at the scrap in Fremont, it's very low. It's a very low percentage. And I'm confident we will see the same out of Texas. The equipment appears to be the same. Do we know when Fremont will have the MCU3 with the Ryzen chip? No, we do not. We do not. Do you think we might see a 6-wheel drive Cybertruck based on the Semi? Ooh. And do it with 2 different motors on the back and call it the Cybertruck XL? I don't. I think the volume would be too low to justify such a substantial redesign. Because that would be quite a different truck. I've seen renders. It looks intimidating. Do you have any guesses on new Fremont output after updating? Of course I do. Of course I do. But we haven't gotten to that yet. And that's a couple years out, so I would have to dig into the numbers to see. But yes, I have absolutely done that. What do I think the dual motor will cost at launch, and when do you think it will start being delivered? Well, the dual motor price was announced with the launch. I got enough heat for now. With the launch, I think the pricing will look about like that. Maybe a little higher, maybe 5,000 higher. The quad motor is the one that I'm curious about, and I'm thinking that's going to be $99,999. That's what I think. Maybe $99,420. Yeah, that's what I think. Matt loves the channel. Agree with the fact that Babylon Bee got an interview with Elon and their questions were milquetoast. Yeah, so that was a 3-part interview review that I was going to do. And after a number of violent, hostile attacks that I had to delete, I went ahead and decided I'm shelving the next 2 installments. The video didn't perform well. Most of the people who came in, an unusually high number of people came in from searches with Babylon Bee in the title. These are not regulars. I had probably so many people saying, I'm going to unsubscribe. And I checked the stats, like 6 people did, which is pretty normal for a video on a channel this size. When I talk about insurance, I get 6 or 7 unsubscribes. When I talk about Lucid, 6 or 7 unsubscribes. When I do a factory update, 6 or 7 unsubscribes. Normal, part of the process. But the threats and whatnot were beyond the pale, and I don't have time for that. That's ridiculous. People were thinking that I was attacking Elon, or attacking religion, or attacking certain politicians. I never said anything about religion, or politicians, or politics. So I'm not sure where these scary, violent wackadoos are coming from, but I'm not going to play around with it and find out. So, yeah, my criticism is that those were terrible questions. Terrible questions. That's why on Twitter I was saying Jordan Giesecke needs to be the next interview, because those questions will be fantastic. The best interviews Elon's done was with Sandy Monroe and Everyday Astronaut. Because those guys know their business, and they are not afraid to ask the hard, real, good questions. And you end up with new insights that you just weren't going to get otherwise. Yeah. The only questionable progress I see going forward is Berlin. I would just vacate and triple China. It would be up and running before any German approval. Boy, I tell you, if I'd have run the math tracker on Berlin, it would have been wildly inaccurate, because I would have grossly underestimated the bureaucracy. Now, I understand they are moving ahead quicker than usual, because Tesla is kind of a proof of concept for foreign investments in manufacturing in Germany. With that said, they gotta get their approvals in. You know, if you've got all the paperwork, get the approvals done. Does anybody catch up to Tesla's production? Kyle, that's a great question. Yes. I believe Volkswagen will, because Volkswagen has the factories. I think they have the leadership. We know they're building battery plants. They've got all the pieces. And in Europe, they've got a very strong market, especially in Germany, which is one of the top 5 car markets in the world. And there is local loyalty that goes into it too. I think Volkswagen could catch up with Tesla. Could. There are no definites in catching up. A Chinese company might make a good run at it, but they're all so far behind. And Tesla's, it amazes me to see the ways in which Tesla does not rest on their laurels. When the Super Bottle came out, the key to the Model 3's record-breaking efficiency at the time, Sandy Monroe hailed it as a breakthrough in heating and cooling for a car's loop system in an EV. It was revolutionary. A year later, he's tearing down the Model Y. Super Bottle's gone. It's ancient history. They're onto the Octavalve, which is vastly better. How many companies would have developed the Super Bottle and stopped right there? Most, I would argue. Same with the batteries. You've got the 18, let's start with the 2170s. You got the 2170s. They're great batteries. Would you rest on your laurels? A lot of companies would. But Tesla's still pushing forward. And only now are the other guys getting into their own battery research, development, and manufacturing. And what they're about to learn is it's very difficult. It's very difficult. RV, based on the Semi, will be awesome. I think that's correct. Not would, but will. Because there's no reason a custom coach builder couldn't do that. It's got the frame. You can do that. MD Hofsty says boo. Yes. Tim, I'm estimated to get my Model Y in June. Do you think it would have the 4680s made in Texas? I don't know. It is possible. Tesla submitted EPA paperwork for the rear-wheel drive long-range Model Y. Why would they do that if they discontinued the vehicle? It's entirely possible, and I think likely, that Fremont will be making non-performance vehicles, and Texas will be making performance. So I think it has more to do with the variant you're getting, which batteries you will get. That's my guess. I don't think Elon and Jordan would be good. It should be Jordan interviewing the Tesla battery guy. And that's fair. That's fair because the batteries are a little bit more wonky. But he's the type of person who knows what he's doing, knows his area. Yeah. But that interview is, rockets. What's that about? I'm pretty sure Elon knows the tech well enough to answer any questions Jordan gave him, but overall, if there was only one YouTuber to interview, it should be Dave. So Dave's area of expertise, Dave Lee on investing is who we're talking about. Dave's area of expertise is investing. And he is just sharp. I really like him. I think Dave would make a fantastic interview. And if you haven't seen Dave interview, look at some of his stuff that he does with Emmett Peppers. Peppers. I think it's Peppers. Those are just great. It shows off his depth of knowledge and understanding. I think Dave would make a great interview. Why did the Model S refresh use 18650s instead of 2170s? I don't know. I was very surprised by that as well. I was very surprised. I think they were trying to hold off for the structural battery 4680s, and they just gave up. But I do not know. I do not know the answer to that. No surprise on the Berlin timeline to me. Tesla still wants to build autos for Europe in Europe. Building Teslas in Germany is like building trucks in Texas. They decided to go straight at the competition. I agree. And they're certainly not going to back out now. They're, $500 million into it, maybe $1 billion into it. Too late for that. Wheel of Fortune 2024. Herbert D., CEO Tesla. Mary Barra, CEO Blockbuster. Mary Barra, CEO Kodak. So, I don't know who would hire Mary after she's done at GM. Because despite what you may have heard, I don't believe she led. I don't believe that. I believe that's a fundamental misunderstanding of the state of EVs today. At the time that was said, GM was producing a grand total of 0 EVs. So count that. MD Hofsty would like a roundtable with Elon, Rob, Tesla Daily, Meet Kevin, Stephen from Solving the Money Problem, and Dave Lee with maybe Emmett Peppers. Did you see I know Gally was on it, the Third Row podcast with Elon. It had Gally and a bunch of other really sharp people. Gally from Hyperchange. Mr. Monorail. Still not a fan of this show. Of my show, I assume. I've tried to reach out to him a number of times before I had the channel and since. I was going to share with him my Starlink invitation. I had an electric car I wanted to show him. He's very difficult to reach. He's a very busy man. So yeah, that would be an excellent roundtable. That would be an excellent roundtable. Next Gigafactory should be in my state of Uttar Pradesh in India. No red tape, no bureaucracy. We have a friendly government. I don't know if you've seen my video, but I believe Giga Mumbai, or at least Giga India, is coming. I did have some corrections from viewers in India who shared reasons why Mumbai might not be the best place. There are other equally capable port cities that are already more, that have more land available with proximity to the port and existing infrastructure for automobile manufacturing. But a factory in India for something would make sense. Certainly batteries would be a good use. Megapacks would be a good use. I think that would be something we could see. Next factory location, Timothy. So China. Somewhere in China for sure. Probably close to Shanghai. There might be another one in Berlin. In terms of whole new locations, India. That's my guess. If anybody has a compelling argument for a place that I haven't considered, Russia, Brazil, Indonesia, Thailand, I'd love to hear it. I would absolutely make a video on it if I can find enough compelling reasons to argue for it. Jason Allen says I accidentally skipped his question. Let me find it. Jason, I'm not here to cause problems. Did I? Did I? Did I? Ask it again, Jason, because I do not see it. Ask it again and I will address it, my friend, for you on Christmas. Jason. There it is. Do you want Tesla to buy ownership stakes in battery makers, mine owners, and raw material processors as much as I do? I think it could give them right of first refusal for a large percentage of that stuff. Now, I don't know if that would give them right of first refusal, but if it does, then yes. Because you could do it in an all-stock transaction. Wouldn't that be something? Just give them some shares, and now you've got first dibs on all production. Best wishes from Curacao. Hope I said it right. GFOZ to make batteries. Giga Mars. Yes, but the exporting from Mars it's so complicated. Shouldn't I be working on the backside of the sled tonight? Yeah. It turns out I am too jolly, and the reindeer complained. Maybe next factory in South Africa. So South Africa does have an established auto manufacturing sector and exports to Africa, to other parts of Africa. So that's not a no. I think some of the videos of attacks we've seen there on people might be a little off-putting. I don't know what Elon's relationship is like with the memories he has of South Africa. That would be an interesting one. JJ wants to know, y'all talking about Nikola? Or is this a Tesla-only stream? It's everything, JJ. It's everything. We started with Christmas music. Yeah. Which is totally on brand for me. Totally on brand. I could end with the Christmas music, too. I don't know. Sounds a bit like fun. So I've got, of course, real quick, I am going to say thank you to my Patreons who get early access, bonus content, an ad-free experience, all that good stuff. But let's talk about the Q4 production estimate. And I will get back to the questions in a minute, Tim. I am not ignoring you. About Rivian and its future. I've got some thoughts on that. Here we are. Q4. This is the one I put out a couple days ago. I was saying 289 for an annual total of 913. I revised that today. This is my second to last estimate, I think, before the year ends. Here's what we're looking at. And by the way, if you're just tuning in, you should know in Q1 I was within, I don't remember, 300, 400, 500 cars. Q2 I was off by I think 91 cars, 92. Q3 I missed by, I don't know, like 1%. So my estimates are quite accurate, often the best, but it is only a matter of time until I miss by a wide margin. But really, if it's anywhere from 270 to 300, 270 up, I'm going to be very happy. Even if it was 250, which I don't think it is. No number here would change my investment strategy. So I did make, this is the 21st. Oh no, this is today. Oh, sorry. My previous one was 289, which I revised downward. So I'll tell you what the numbers are here. Here's, oh, and in Q2, I think I was within like 10 cars on this. Or maybe it was here I was within like 9 cars. I don't remember, but I was real close. My estimate is 12,000, which would be a run rate of 1,000 a week. I believe there are new efficiencies in the Model S line that would allow them to ramp beyond their previous 1,000 a week, but that some of the time on the line was dedicated to tooling for the Model X, lowering the output. I don't believe that Model S demand is sufficiently strong that they would delay tooling the Model X, in part because while some buyers are waiting quite a while, others have made videos where they pick up their vehicle the same day they order it. So if there's cars in inventory, demand is not as strong as it is for the Models 3 and Y. 12,000, that's my estimate for the Model S and X. Models 3 and Y, what I've got here, this number is this number at the same rate? Yes, at the same rate, but with 4 holiday days backed out. Is that what it is? It might be a little higher. And then for the 3 and Y, in Shanghai, this is a beautiful number. I used the actual deliveries that were reported from October and November. I used the higher of the two, the October number, and backed out 2 holiday days because the factory appears to be shut down. That's why my initial estimate and this estimate are different. This estimate includes holiday days that the previous one did not. I am going to go back and do my usual thing where I look at, go back and look at footage to count superchargers in use at the factory in Shanghai compared to other months and quarters, and also how many of the heat exchangers on the roof are spinning and in motion at any given time. So currently, and again, there will be probably one more of these before the month ends, 287, 519 for an annual production rate of 912. That's where that's at. So let's pop back into the questions and have some fun. Do we know how to have fun? Is that a thing we're allowed to do even? I'm not sure. Let's find out. Any thoughts on Rivian and its future? Yeah, Rivian will do fine. They're learning. They've got deep pockets, and the EV investment well is far from running dry. They will be able to raise additional funds as needed. Their market cap may come back down to a more reasonable amount, but they'll be fine. They're just learning that production is hard. It's very hard. I think it's a mistake that they're trying to ramp the R1T and R1S at the same time as a delivery van. But that's a mistake they are unlikely to make twice, assuming they can survive that long. Can't wait for the Tesla bot. So Jeff, I got some thoughts on the Tesla bot. Do you know my belief on why bots are so bad so far is the lack of AI to power them. When full self-driving is cracked or mostly cracked or even just well on its way, Dojo can be assigned some computing time to work on general intelligence for the bot. Can it do your dishes? Well, it has to know where the sink is. That's easy. It has to identify clean versus dirty. It has to know it has to learn all these steps, which if you were to try and manually program them in would be bad. And it'd be nothing but edge cases. AI can solve that. AI can solve all of this. And Dojo is a very powerful system, and it is well scalable. So it's very exciting. And that's why I think TeslaBot, if you think that the number of driving jobs is going to go down because of the disruption from self-driving, think about the disruption when any physical job can be done by a bot. Wow. How much will Cybertruck varieties weigh? I don't know. I've looked that up once, but it's all speculation. It's going to weigh a lot. It's going to weigh less than the competition, but a lot. I think Gigafactory Perth to make batteries, since Mike Cannon Brooks has the big solar plant in Alice Springs with 40 gigawatt hours needed. I don't know if it costs billions to tool up a battery factory. I don't know. I know there's a lot of raw materials in Australia. Beyond that, I don't know. I don't know. What's his name at Nikola got coal for Christmas. So now that great news on Nikola. The SEC investigation has concluded. The fine that they were assessed is equal to the amount they thought it was going to be. And that chapter is closed. It's done. What's not closed is the situation with Trevor. It looks as though the SEC is going to go after him for damages to investors. And if that is the case, Trevor may be completely broke very soon. I loved Rivian's secret compartment. Yeah. So, I watched Kyle Stevens. Who are you, Kyle Stevens? Do I know you? Do I know you, Kyle? I watched a great review of Rivian. Did you make it? Anyway, I'm very excited about the Rivian. It looks like a great truck. The early reviews look good, even from people who have had more time with it. There was an installer who had a chance to work on it, and he did his review just of fit and finish features. It was great. So it was very exciting. For sure, many Model S in stock around me. Yeah, I believe you based on videos I've seen. I think your Model S and X might be off. Someone just posted a picture of Fremont that showed 750 of them sitting. Wow. Maybe. I will definitely take a look at that and see if I need to revise my figures. RMG wants to know, why are melons always single? Because they can't elope. Is this guy a homeless man at a bus stop? If you mean me, then yes, that is correct. I don't know, man. Jeff agrees. AI is key to a great bot. Jason says, if buying mines, battery makers, and processors use cash, it would go towards faster expansion of new facilities. It seems so obvious that I really wonder what Tesla is doing by not making such deals. I don't know. They're overstretched. I'm surprised they're not already working on, or at least announcing, new factories. But I'm confident they know what they're doing, because a lot of times I've looked at their strategy and said, nonsense, I can't possibly, they can't do this. It's crazy, it's dumb, it's a bad idea. And they do it, and it works. So, so I know better than to second guess Tesla. Did you hear that Rivian is planning to use VDL Nedcar in the Netherlands to build their car? I did not. They might even buy the factory outright. I don't know. That's something I haven't heard. I don't see a reason. I know they announced another factory location in North Carolina, South Carolina. Why have a Tesla bot sweep when I have a Roomba? Roombas will get smarter too. But because your Tesla bot can do everything. And I don't think you want to buy a Tesla bot. They're very expensive. Well, we don't know what the price will be, but based on their capabilities, they will be expensive. Oh yeah, did everybody remember to smash the thummy thing? I'd appreciate that. YouTube is getting a little bit better about showing my videos, so whatever you guys are doing, please keep it up. RTW is recycling batteries now. Good stonk. Battery recycling is going to be huge, especially now that there are enough batteries coming around to be recycled. How many kilowatt hours will Cybertruck have? I would guess 100 to 120. I'd guess 125 for the top spec, down to 80, 90 for the bottom spec. Just a guess, but it's very heavy. It's very heavy. Great comedy club backdrop. Yeah, it does look like that. Now I just need better material. How appropriate do you think a Cybertruck would be for a tradesman? I would need tool chests, boxes, and a ladder rack for conduit, etc. Silly idea. So I've got a whole series on debunking Cybertruck and Ford Lightning myths. So the short answer is, for some tradesmen, it will be ideal. For other tradesmen, might not work as well. But it's going to depend on your use case. The floor doesn't have wheel wells intruding into it, of the bed. In terms of your tool rack, your tool chest, your toolbox, why not just use the frunk? Or the sub-vault. Now, the problem with the sub-vault is, depending what you put in the bed, you may not be able to access it, but you're going to have a frunk, which is probably bigger than your tool chest and more secure as well. So I think for many trades it will work, and it will absolutely have rack systems. As soon as it's out there, accessories will be sold. And it's stainless, so you can weld right to it. You can weld to stainless, yeah. So I think, Conrad, as soon as you get to see one in person, you will know. And with how rapid I think adoption will be, it won't be long before you see another electrician with one. If I saw you, I would definitely come over and say howdy. Yeah, cool. I have a fan named Bob who's going to drive down to see me soon, in the next few days, I think, to give me a full self-driving beta tour, which is, I'm excited about that. So hopefully soon, next week or so, some full self-driving demo videos. I don't know. I'm very excited. I think Tesla Bot will be subscription only and possibly more affordable than we think. I think it might be right, based on Elon's stated intention with the Model 3s being only leased at some point so they could take them back and put them into their own fleet. I think that's absolutely possible. I'm convinced Elon's just trying to make the iRobot movie real. Human robots, AI self-driving, legit everything. Aaron says 125 kilowatt hour pack is light, in the range of 1,200 pounds. Well, it's a structural 4680, so I don't know. It's going to be, that. I like to see a Cybertruck as a tornado chaser. You know what? I was thinking about that too. The movie Twister with Helen Hunt and, I forget his name now. Gentleman who passed away a year or two ago. Very sad. Bill Paxton? I think it's Bill Paxton. My first car had a frunk, a 67 VW Beetle. And it was useful, right? The trunk, not so much. Robert says, yes, I will. Alrighty, guys. Hey, thank you, Mark, for the soup chat. Anyone have any other questions to get to? Because, I'm having fun. It is Christmas-ish in some time zones. And again, you're not taking me away from my family. They're inside finishing up their wrapping. Charlie says, great job this year. Enjoy the holidays. Charlie, thank you. And I do notice all your comments saying thank you. And I try to heart them when I remember to and see them and all that. Charlie, thank you for being here on the regular. I appreciate it. All right. I don't know, man. I guess that's it. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, if you got any questions or topics, be on the lookout in the next few days to see an announcement of my 11-year tracker. I'm going to make one or two of my models available as a promotional thing so that you can see what it's about and how it works and decide if you want to become a patron at the $10 level, which will grant you access to it for the first year, provided you, stay on board. And anyone who signs up or upgrades in the new year, it'll be $25. $25 level, because it's an outrageous amount of work. And YouTube's ads pay famously badly. And on my channel, I think it's 75%? No, 60, it's about 2/3 are using ad block, which is fine. I'm not asking you to turn off your ad blocker. Ad blockers are the way to go. All right. So, thank you one and all. And yeah, what a great year. I appreciate it. So stay tuned, stay juicy, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the flippity, a dippity, a flop.